Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Usezwa Elimihe. I intend for us to discuss perspective. There are two perspectives in life. There is the dependency, fearful, and need-based perspective. And then there is the independent, free, and creative perspective. These two perspectives do not meet. All right. The first perspective is powerless because it is fearful, it is need-based, and it is selfish. The second perspective is free. It is the happiness-based perspective. What is the difference between these two perspectives? The first one is the way a heartbreaking majority of us were raised with. It is the perspective that sees scarcity, that understands that life is a region of the scarce commodities, that things can't go round. It is an expenditure-based mentality. It is where you see material things are spendable. That is to say, they are subject to being lost, to being wasted, to being sent out. But the other perspective is creative. It simply says that things that are with me now did not come to me by accident. They were created. Okay. Now, the funny part of it all is that whether your perspective is creative or it is fear-based, it doesn't matter. Both of us are creating perpetually our realities. We are perpetually creating things that we have to live with. Now, don't ask me whether we are creating things we don't love, because the reality is that you create the things and they come to you on the basis of your vibe. You know this. They are coming to you on the basis of your vibration. It is based on the message you are putting out into the universe, and things are coming to you in that light. Like we have always said on this channel, you do not get what you consciously ask for, but you get what you are. You see, you attract to yourself what is congruent with you. There are other ways about it. So when I say that you have a mentality that is fear-based, that is need-based, that is dependency-based, it simply means that when you see things in your life, you are not conscious of the fact that you created them. You just feel that it came to you either by accident or by the devious actions of others. In all of these things, you don't see yourself as a creator. You don't see yourself as an instigator. In all of these things, you see yourself as a victim or a passive beneficiary. You do not understand that you are creating your reality as you move. Now, this season, today, I want you to have a change. Nothing is ever lost. Nothing ever happens by accident. They are created. Accidents don't happen. They are created. By who? By those who see themselves eventually as the victims of the accident. All is created. None happens by chance. So, in fairness to life, it pays close attention to what we are sending out to it. Like I once said, life does not speak English, Edo, Esan, Urobo, Igbo. No, doesn't speak French or Spanish. Life speaks emotion. It is your emotions that life responds to. So when you are praying for something. And it's just like this. You see something you love and you treasure. Say, oh my goodness, I just love this thing. I want to have it. I want 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 it. Yes. At that moment, you've got it. But you see, you look around you, you are not having that thing. Let's say, for instance, you want a premium 5-bedroom duplex, tastefully furnished, planted in the middle of a picturesque garden in a lovely neighborhood. And as you are dreaming it, you are excited about the possibilities and you love it. And when you open your eyes, you don't see the duplex. You don't see anything whatsoever that will even make it possible for you to have that duplex. What happens to you? You feel deflated. But you see, if you listen very closely to Dr. Joe Dispenza, you will hear him say things like this: holding that emotion of love. Holding that emotion of loving the things that you want. That passion, that excitement, that pleasure of saying, I've got this thing. Hold it for a period of time and see what happens. It's just like what I heard about Carnegie. I think Andrew Carnegie. The United States government were investigating him. They were wondering, there was a depression, but this man was doing so well. How did it come to be? They felt that he was doing some hanking-panking. They wanted to find out what he was doing. And he made it clear to them it's all about thoughts. And he gave us some tests about the capacity to hold a thought in your mind for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes, hold a thought. He found out that most of the people who were congressional people were listening to him couldn't hold a thought for up to that period of time. And he said, you shouldn't be governing America. You get it? Now, all the time, stress happens to us when we are not able to stick to that which we see as desirable. We just feel that it is not possible. It is difficult. You see, life just happens. Let life go by and we just flow along with it. In that case, whatever life brings, you get it. But if you want to be a person of power, a person of influence, you take the game to life. You tell life what you want. And again, that is what we all do. We take the game to life, but we are doing it subconsciously. We are doing it on the basis of lack, on the basis of fear, on the basis of our upbringing that is very disempowering. But what I am saying, the purpose of this very video is to let you know that it is time you change the game and start taking the appropriate game to life. The game that suits you. The game you love to play. That is the game we want to be taking to life right now. And so how do we do that? It's about holding your thoughts with its feelings. Now listen. It doesn't matter what thought you have grown up with. The game I'm asking you to do right now is to consciously design a game. Design that dream life. Design that state of health. Design that relationship. Forget about what your partner is doing. Oh, he is insensitive. He is... No. You are one, they say. Therefore, in that oneness, become the active pole. Become that which magnetizes the reality. Because one cannot be without its complete fullness. You are both one. Therefore, you have a major say in the relationship, in the affair. Therefore, become the one that pulls good, that magnetizes good. Because when your partner is becoming insensitive and acting not in accordance with the dictate of love, do you know what it is? That partner is functioning as matter. Because if partner is functioning as matter, you have to now function as energy by raising your vibration to the level of love. And then in that level, you are capable of creating. Then hold the thoughts of the kind of partner you want. Hold the thought of the kind of home you want for the whole day. Try. Just keep that thought in your mind. Let it fill you with joy. Let the possibilities of that love, of that home, of that relationship spark you. Make you feel happy. Make you feel fulfilled. Live in that. Do it for one day. Do it for the second day, the third day. Keep doing it. Over time, it will become autopilot. When you master that way of living, you will find out that you will no longer be looking at your partner and wondering, why is he behaving like this? No, you are now going to now be dragging your partner and conditioning your partner to the life that you want that partner to live. Two are better than one. They say this is where life is very powerful. One person can be stupid and irresponsible. The other partner shouldn't allow the stupidity and irresponsibility to drag them into that mode. Stay in your mode, be positive, be straightforward, and determine what you like. That's talking about living life intentionally. What are the intentions behind all your actions? I should ask that question. Would you be able to answer me? Every action should have an intention. And that intention should be in line with your dream life. So when you have an action that is reactive, you are reacting to the actions of another, then you have lost your intentionality. You have left your center, and you are now beginning to live on the fringes because they are dragging you all over the place. You become like the sensory current of the unintentional body, where the current has, driven to the extremities of the body. Therefore, the owner can actually use it for empowerment, cannot use it to heal themselves. In the same way, do not allow life, don't allow people to pull you to the extremities. Stay in your center, because in the center, that is the vortex, that is the region of power, that is the region of magnetism. And if you are there thinking positive thought, thinking happy thought, focused on the life that you have chosen to live, you will pull that life to you, whether the world likes it or not. You are not just sensate, you are life itself. The idea that I am alive, it means that there is life in me. Okay? It's disempowering, it's ignorant. But the reality is that you are not just alive, you are life. You are a creator. All the things you see around you are creations of yours. Therefore, begin to be conscious of your thought. Be creative in your thinking. To be creative simply means that you are bringing into reality what does not exist. So the idea of being creative is that there is a need. There is something that life needs in the physical, and we need to get it. And then you need creativity. So you create in a physical vacuum, but you start with a mental image. The mental image is also called the word. Okay, we all have it. It's a thought or an amalgam of cohesive thoughts that we create. Now we begin to register them into reality. Good. That is the process of creativity. Now, in the same way, if you wanted a house, for instance, you have a plan, and that plan is followed up by a design. You put the mental image of the house onto a printable material, something that others can relate with, because nobody can look into your head and see the plan. Good. Then after that, you buy a land that fits that particular design, and then you put your house there. But then, that is how the wealthy act. The poor do not think that way. They don't think that they have to get a design first before they get a land to fit it. No, they may not have the money. So they get a land first, and on the basis of the land they have, they fit their design into it. It is also creative. When I talk about the independence mentality, I am talking about the fact that you do not subject yourself to the so-called realities around you, because first of all, they are not realities, they are appearances, they are things created by our perception. Okay, we see something on the front, like you can see my hand right now. You cannot tell me what is on my right palm. It's not possible, because you can only see this. It's your perspective, the angle from where you see life. Your angle of acceptance of things determines your reality, determines your life. The question is this: if you understand that your angle of perception is your reality and it is your life, why don't you take a better angle? Your life is just yours to design, so do something. So the capacity to hold the thoughts, that mental image, to hold it for a longer period of time, and it will furnish you with a mood. It will furnish you with an emotion. Hold that emotion for the longest time possible. It will produce the desired result for the life that you want. That is the reality of creativity. That is what about perspective. There is nothing too big that you cannot surmount, because you are human and you are creative. It depends from what angle you are looking at it. A short, stunted tree can become a giant towering above the sky if you take an angle that makes it look so. But if you change the angle, you might realize that, oh, it's indeed a short tree. That's how life is. What looks small, when you look at it from the perspective of yourself, of your small self, they look big. But when you change the perspective from your small self and begin to see it from the universal mind, from the universal perspective, which makes it very clear that the human being is not limited by its form, but by their thoughts. Then you begin to realize that you need to think bigger. You need to think smarter. You need to think freer. From the perspective of freedom, you rule the world. From the perspective of selfishness, fear, and neediness, you are ruled by the world. The choice is always yours. Change your perspective. You are the one who creates your life. Understand that perspective and begin to create your emotion. Your life starts with your thought. Your thought creates your feeling generates an emotion when you embrace it. And when you allow it to keep going on like that, the reality will come over time. The people, the circumstances, the event that will create that life will come. Depends on what choice you make, whether it's a good one or a bad one. By the word good or bad, I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying it's in relation to the life that you want consciously. So if your conscious life is happiness, fulfilled marriage, happy relationships, then whatever negates that is bad. Okay, let's agree on that. Then whatever approves it, whatever supports it is good, right? Good. Therefore, I'm saying let there be thoughts, feelings that are congruent with that dream life. Do not wait for it to happen before you are happy. It is your happiness now that will pull that dream life to you. First of all, practice the art of staying in the mood, in the atmosphere of that life of yours. There's an atmosphere for manifestation of that life, and that atmosphere is the atmosphere of welcoming. If you welcome a good thing, you know that you will feel good about it. The idea of welcoming is another word for gratitude. When you are grateful, not just by saying, oh, I'm grateful for this, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying live it, feel it, however big that thing is. So if you have a relationship that is bad, that is cancerous right now, I'll say to you, change the perspective. Look for the way you want it to be, and then begin to relate with that relationship that way. It will change. All right. If you have a love that's already dying, try and take your mind back to when it started, when it was so beautiful. That person is still alive. Resurrect that person. The person was only eclipsed by the negative reactive circumstances of the mind. You have to change it. You have your life. You have a stake in that relationship. You deserve the right to turn it around. It's all in your power. Poverty, the same way. Feel good about yourself. Stop the language that depletes you of money. Stop dependency. Stop waiting for somebody to do it for you. Create the light that we engulf your world and chase out the darkness of poverty. The same thing for illness. They are all darkness. Create the light and it will change. Okay? Be positive. See yourself as living in good light. Don't be waiting for it to happen. No, you happen. Happen upon your space. Happen upon your experiences. They will change accordingly. That is it. You are so powerful. Use that power consciously, please. God bless you.